what is false or what is deemed true in what is false. And know what it also did? Know what it also did? It financed quote unquote fact checkers. And lo and behold, wasn't it interesting that all these fact checking organizations and projects started right after that bill was passed? Countering Disinformation Act. Now, there were other parts to it as well. When Obama again relinquished control of the internet, and there was a lot of disinformation around it. I mean, actual disinformation around it, where different websites are saying, "Oh, this is just about," news outlets are saying, "This is just about the domain's name policy. It's not going to affect anything." It was ICANN. I'll go into that later in this episode. Oh, it's not going to affect anything. What they wrote off completely in the reporting was that under ICANN is IANA, which actually sets the rules for the internet. And previously, before Obama changed that, the internet was under the U.S. Government. I believe the Commerce Department again, but again, I have some notes. I'll get into it later. It was under the U.S. government, meaning that it's a government, again, government control, meaning they had to abide by the Constitution, meaning they had to respect free speech. Obama relinquished that. The internet no longer had those protections after Obama did that. And he also, again, changed the way information can be regulated. What he's talking about now is a deeper level of that. And get this, right when Obama comes out and gives that speech, guess who else comes out? Hillary Clinton. Let me pull up her Twitter feed, all right? Let me show you this. This is Hillary Clinton's Twitter feed. And she's saying here, for too long, tech platforms have amplified disinformation and extremism with no accountability. Keep in mind, it was her campaign that paid for the Steele dossier, right? It was her campaign that spread, the Trump-Russia disinformation, actual paid disinformation, ironically sourced from 2 Russian sources. It was her campaign and the Democrat Party that paid for that, spread it throughout the media, spread it through the government, spread it internationally, and undermined a sitting president and attempted to remove a sitting president from office for 4 years. And also her campaign through this was spying on the White House, spying on the servers of the White House. This is the one saying that, the one who spread disinformation to undermine an entire presidency and try to remove a sitting president. Again, a soft coup. You would call that, if that happened in any other country, you would call that a soft coup, at least an attempt at such, right? But she's saying again that tech platforms have amplified this problem of disinformation and extremism with no accountability. And again, folks, the question is, if they're complaining about accountability, who do they want them to be accountable to, right? To whom will they be accountable? She's saying here, the EU, the European Union, is poised to do something about it. I urge our transatlantic allies to push the Digital Services Act, I'll explain what that is, the Digital Services Act across the finish line and bolster global democracy before it's too late. Global democracy, folks. Now, what they're talking about, again, is not actual democracy. Democracy technically would be mob rule, right? It's where, you're basically, your average citizen is, just rule of majority. 51% can do anything they want. If they say hang the other 49%, you go and hang them, right? That's what the founding fathers had concerns about with democracy. It's why they were all so against democracy. In fact, remember that George Washington, during the Whiskey Rebellion, which he personally led the U.S. Army to put down, he said it was run by the democratic societies, and he regarded this as basically an extension of the communist revolutions that were spreading in Europe at that time. He regarded these as being part of the same system, socialism, right, that was spreading in Europe at that time. Again, the founding fathers were incredibly against democracy because, again, they saw it as mob rule, and they saw it as very little different from tyranny. Same kind of tyranny they were trying to, break America off from. Now, folks, we're going to have a special guest on in just a bit, but let's go over a bit more into this. I want to talk about this Digital Services Act package, because this is, again, what Hillary Clinton is talking about. Now, let me show you the EU website on this. This is what Hillary Clinton is pushing for, the European Union's Digital Services Act. All right, so this is the website of the European Commission. Let's scroll down. There's a video here. I just want to play just maybe like 20 seconds of it, just to kind of give you a sense, of where things are at. let's scroll this down and play the video real quick. I just want to show kind of what this whole thing is about. My team doesn't hear me. We'll play the whole thing, folks. Empowering users, right? Empowering you. Don't you want more power? Helping businesses, making things easier. Who doesn't want that, right? This looks like an IKEA or car commercial, stuff like that. I mean, who wouldn't want more power and better things for business? The problem is it's not what it's about, actually. Let me explain. This is a website. This is financial. Let's pull the Financial Times here. It says here, the European Union, EU, to unveil landmark law to force big tech to police illegal content. Now, this is, I think, a pretty serious misrepresentation of what they're actually trying to police. They're saying police illegal content. What they're talking about doing isn't policing illegal content. What they're talking about doing is making legal content illegal. Information. They want to make information legal or illegal because they want to ban what they claim is disinformation. That's what this is really about. This is a global censorship policy being pushed right now by the European Union, and that our former leaders right here in the United States are trying to enact here. That's what this is about. Let me show you this. It says the EU is poised to unveil a landmark law on Friday. This was last week, so again, they're voting on this now. That will force big tech to police their platforms more aggressively over illegal content, making the latest move by regulators to curb the power of large technology groups. And let me explain exactly what this is. Now, I'll just go over a few just quotes from here. I'll jump around, so just for the back end, don't worry about trying to follow me because I have a few different points I want to jump to in it. This is one quote. The country, in this case. Let me play a quick timestamp for you. He actually has I have a video of this, and I just want to play just a bit of this for you. Just kind of getting a vibe, I think, of what he's actually talking about. Let me pull this YouTube channel real quick.
All of us have an opportunity to do what America has always done at our best. Just to recognize that even when the source code is working, the status quo isn't, and we can build something better together. This is an opportunity. It's a chance that we should welcome for governments to take on a big, important problem and prove that democracy and innovation can coexist. It's a chance for companies to do the right thing. You'll still make money, but you'll feel better. It's a chance for employees of those companies to push them to do the right thing. Because you've seen what's out there and you want to feel better. It's a chance for journalists and their supporters to figure out, how do we adapt old institutions and those core values that made those institutions valuable? How do we adapt that to a new age?
All right, we won't play this whole.
First of all, we are a constitutional republic. That means we go by the Constitution. And that's what that man said, democracy, whatever, I can't say the words right now. That's what Venezuela was. And that turns to socialism. That's easily slipped because a dictator can take over. That's what we are, a constitutional republic. He is sitting, he's a ex-president, so you should know that, but they brainwashes you about that because they know what they said leads to communism, leads to socialism. But hey, then I told you about he turned over the internet. Now, he have like a slick tongue. Don't you want to feel better about the government having more control over your life? You want to feel better about the government saying what you can't say, what you can't say? he turned over the internet when he was the president of the United States. It was under the United States Constitution. That means they had to go by the United States Constitution. That's why he turned it over. Because they want to get rid of the Constitution. Now I talked to a couple of people. They always saying it's a white man's world and the white man's bad. But it's the black man that was a president that did this. What you gotta say now? Right?